Chapter 450, Return. This chapter is updated by novels.pl. The dragon pearl soared up and emitted a bright light, like a small golden sun. It had such amazing heat that it seemed as if it could smelt the earth. As long as the dragon pearl could knock down the Langwin golden bell, this block of the Forbidden City would open. Then, the superiors in the 31st city could naturally discover that the black market monks were attacking the Silver Sky mercenary group, especially the Imperial Court. The Imperial Court of the First Central Empire abhorred the black market. Once it was discovered that the black market monks appeared in the city, it would be the first to send a large army from the Ministry of War to destroy them. Seeing that the Dragon Pearl would certainly collide with the Langwin Golden Bell, suddenly, a thin, old man wearing a grey robe flew out above the Dragon Pearl. The grey-gowned elder seemed to emerge out of thin air. It was extremely strange. He stepped into the void space and rushed toward the Dragon Pearl. A purple crescent mark appeared on his globula. Bam! A sacred power rushed out of the crescent mark, then turned into a beam of light. The Dragon Pearl was knocked back upside down. Then it hit the ground and made a loud noise. The ground suddenly shook and a giant hole appeared. The golden flame melted the mudstone around the giant hole and turned it into a black mirror. Someone can shoot down the Dragon Pearl. The faces of the Silver Sky mercenary group warriors all changed as they could feel the strength of that power. The grey-gowned elder stopped and hung in the void space. His body exuded an imposing momentum that condensed into substantial waves and fell from the sky. All the warriors in the black market and the Silver Sky mercenary group were suppressed to the ground. Only a handful of people, such as Yi, Purple Wind Emissary, and Sylvan Moon, could stand still. Jiang Yuochen immediately called back the Dragon Pearl and lifted it to the top of his head. He then continued to infuse genuine qi into it and borrow the power of the Dragon Pearl, and finally managed to resist the momentum of that old man. Devil Yuanying. Jiang Yuochen's face changed as he recognized the grey-gowned elder standing in midair. He was a half-saint of the black market, Yuanying, who had saved Yi at the Tongming River. A half-saint of the black market finally appeared. Yi's brows wrinkled as he cupped a fist in his palm and bowed. Elder Yuanying. Yi, you make me very disappointed. You have to deal with the Silver Sky mercenary group. But unexpectedly, you're losing. Devil Yuanying's voice was a bit harsh. Although Yi was a young master and his status was lofty, he only had a cultivation in the heaven realm. In front of a half-saint, he could only be regarded as a junior. This action against Sylvan Moon was originally a black market experience for Yi and Seven Kills Emissary. Although Devil Yuanying also walked with them, he could only do something when they were in danger. Yi did not explain it too much and said, Elder, please give me another 15 minutes. I will defeat Jiang Yuochen and Sylvan Moon. There is no time. The superiors from the Ministry of War have already arrived. We should go. Devil Yuanying coldly stared at Jiang Yuochen and Sylvan Moon for a brief moment and said, Today, you are lucky. PFFT. His sleeves waved and suddenly, a cold hurricane blowing from the east side of the sky flew at Jiang Yuochen and the warriors of the Silver Sky mercenary group. PFFFF. Some warriors whose martial cultivations were low were torn to pieces by the hurricane and turned into bloody bones. Jiang Yuochen only felt a whirlwind. When he fell to the ground again, the black market monks had disappeared. The ground was full of the remnants of corpses. There were only 17 remaining warriors of the Silver Sky mercenary group. The splendid buildings built by the Silver Sky mercenary group had all become ruins. Those mercenary soldiers were dead or injured. Only 17 powerful warriors survived. It was a heavy loss. Of course, the Silver Sky mercenary group had a lot of mercenary warriors to perform the tasks outside. Their warriors they lost today were almost equal to 30% of the fighting power of the entire mercenary group. They've run away. Jiang Yuochen squeezed his fingers and thought with some regret that if he could have killed one or two emissaries, it would really hurt the black market. Training an emissary cost more resources than raising 100 glazed knights. I just clearly saw the appearance of a half-saint of the black market. How did he suddenly disappear? Ling carried a sword in the shape of a spiritual snake and took a deep breath. Her legs were still shaking. Even a master of the heaven board such as her was still shivering and felt terrified in front of a half-saint. It must be that the half-saint of the 31st city had detected the change of the Silver Sky mercenary group and rushed over. Therefore, Devil Yuan Ying had to take the black market and immediately flee. Zhang Yuochen surmised. Zhang Yuochen's global raised a sky eye and looked at the sky above his head. He saw two strands of the half-saint aura turn into two light columns. They fought and quickly rushed out of the 31st city and were rapidly going away. The 31st city was a city of mercenaries. Not only did it have many masters, but it was also full of conflicts and killings. It was normal for the imperial court to send a half-saint to manage the city. What was unknown was if their half-saint could contain Devil Yuan Ying. Boom. Before long, a group of sergeants dressed in heavy black armor, riding tall savage beasts, rushed to the outside of the Silver Sky mercenary group and surrounded all the streets and alleys. At the same time, a general dressed in a red cloak rode a brute elephant, which was a 4th-level savage beast, and entered the martial arts arena at the Silver Sky mercenary group to communicate with Silver Moon. Commander of the Silver Moon group, City Governor, let me tell you, Devil Yuan Ying has escaped with the masters of the black market. I now lead the city guard and began to investigate the spies of the black market around the Silver Sky mercenary group. Hearing this sentence, Zhang Yuochen sighed. Devil Yuan Ying and Yi still fled. Under the blessing of the Sarira, Zhang Yuochen gained formidable power within a short time. However, when he collected the Sarira, a sense of weakness emanated from his bone marrow. That was the side effect of using the Sarira. Zhang Yuochen took the Dragon Pearl back in his body and no longer listened to the conversation between Silver Moon and the general. He sat on the ground and began to run his exercises to adjust his health. As genuine chi flowed through his body, Zhang Yuochen gradually resolved the feeling of weakness. When Zhang Yuochen reopened his eyes, the city guard of the 31st city had already withdrawn. They had taken away a large number of spies who were arranged around the Silver Sky mercenary group by the black market. Yi dared to personally come to the 31st city to deal with the Silver Sky mercenary group. Of course, it had been arranged a long time ago. Every spy was one of his chess pieces. The city guard pulled these spies out, which also caused a loss for the black market. In the future, the control of the black market in the 31st city would drop by a large margin. Zhang Yuochen, thank you for helping. Without you, the Silver Sky mercenary group would be doomed. In the future, if you need anything, just send word to the Silver Sky mercenary group, and even if it is very difficult, I will definitely come to help. Silver Moon went to the opposite side of Zhang Yuochen, lowered her proud head, held her fist in her palm and bowed her head to Zhang Yuochen. Her wound in the lower abdomen had completely healed, and no scars were left on her white skin. Of course, although trauma was invisible, internal injuries did not recover in a short moment. Even though she had practiced the glazed treasured body, it would take at least 3 days to return to her peak. Of course, it was precisely because she had practiced the glazed treasured body that she was able to suffer severe injuries and survive. If it were a different person, perhaps he would have already died. Zhang Yuochen quickly said, Commander Silver Moon, you are welcome. Yi is not only your enemy but also my enemy. In the future, we'll still have many opportunities for cooperation. This time, although he used the 1st-level seal of the Sarira, and also eliminated Blood Spirit Queen, additionally, he also became acquainted with such a superior as Silver Moon. In general, the gains outweighed the losses. 7 kills Emissary and the Glazed Knights were at Yi's side, but there were also several friends besides Zhang Yuochen. However, few people could contend with 7 kills Emissary. After getting this ally, Silver Moon, in the future, Zhang Yuochen would no longer be so lonely and struggle to fight against Yi. Silver Moon said, this time, because you caused it, Yi's action failed. He certainly will not give up on this and will also send masters to deal with you. Well, in the next half-month, Nihonlu will protect you until you formally enter Saint Academy and become a saint. In half a month, Zhang Yuochen could formally enter Saint Academy to practice. Even if the black market was stronger, he would not dare to go to Saint Academy to kill him. Nihonlu was the deputy commander of the Silver Sky mercenary group. He was also a superior in the 6th change of the Fish Dragon realm. He alone could fight with 2 Glazed Knight commanders. which proved his powerful strength. With his protection, as long as they did not encounter masters as powerful as Purple Wind Emissary and Sylvan Moon, Jiang Yuochen would not be in any danger. Jiang Yuochen not only saved Sylvan Moon, but also saved Nihonglu. Nihonglu was very grateful to Jiang Yuochen. He did not have any objections when he heard the arrangement of Sylvan Moon. After a night of rest, Jiang Yuochen and Nihonglu healed their injuries. The next morning, they walked out of the 31st city and returned to the 7th district. Immediately upon returning to the 7th district, Jiang Yuochen saw the foreign minister elder in the sword sanctum, Liu Yukai. Liu Yukai was fat and wore a gorgeous black golden armor that was bulging with his round belly. He squinted his eyes and had been waiting in courier station of the martial market. He sat on a jade chi chair and saw Jiang Yuochen walk in. He immediately stood up and laughed. "Brother Jiang, there is already information on what you asked to do so fast." Jiang Yuochen's face glowed. Liu Yukai looked at Nihonglu, who was standing next to Jiang Yuochen, and revealed a hint of a strange look. "I'm sure this person is the mercenary master hired by Brother Jiang in the 31st city, the deputy commander of the Silver Sky mercenary group." "I'm Nihonglu," he said. Liu Yukai nodded and no longer looked at Nihonglu. He said, "Yesterday, Brother Jiang asked me to help you buy a house in the 7th district. Today, somebody wants to transfer a house where a half-saint had lived. The price is 100 million spiritual crystals. Brother Jiang, do you want to see it?" The owner of the half-saint former residence is a predecessor, and she also wants to meet you.